Good evening, guys. This is the Blitz Showdown Season 1, the final match of tonight, none other than Fear the Dog versus Rebel in Disguise. In the caster deck, it's me, your homeboy Jeff. Alongside me, we have Itami here. So, Itami, are you excited for tonight's match?
Hello, Jeff, and hello, everyone. Yep, I'm quite excited for this BO3 series. And let's say, after having a lot of weight, we are finally here on ban sections already. Looks like both of them, they are already quite completed with the ban phases. And they are just going out with the regular bans, I would say. Two junglers as well as two EXP lanes from each of the sides. And once again, it is going to be that glue. So by far, I would say these are the regular bans that has been coming up.
Yep, that's true. That's true. We can see your phobias being banned now, as well as for your YSS. That's a good ban, because a YSS, a quick farm, as well as for the rotation, the global vision. You never want to face a YSS in that scenario here, as we can see from the side of team. Fear the Rebel here. Fear the Rebel, right? No, it's Rebel in Disguise. My bad. I mixed up both the names. I'm kind of mad here. My bad, my bad. But anyways, we can see Fear Rebel in Disguise going in with the Fanny, the higher, not the Fanny, the Lancelot here, and for the side of a team Ducks here, we can see they went for the. Oh wait, no. The blue side is Rebel in Disguise, and the red side is Fear the Duck. Yeah, okay, my bad, guys. Let me clarify this. The blue side, the left side is Team Rebel in Disguise, and on the red side we have Fear the Duck here. As we can see, Fear the Duck, Shady went in for the Grok here. The revamped Grok. What are your opinions for it, Itami?
He has been, a lot impactful compared to before. Like his pick rate has definitely increased, and Grok he has been doing quite well even onto the EXP as well as onto the room. So he can be coming up as a flex pick for the side of Team Rebel in Disguise. Meanwhile, Team um, Fear the Duck they will be prioritizing both like two meta heroes for their site. It is going to be that Zishan, which they will be getting quite of a crowd control as well as the global ultimate from her. It can be coming up quite handy onto those team fight. But for the initiations, they have the Badang, and he is yet to decide which role he is going on to. He can be used as a roamer as well as onto the EXP lane. So Rebel in Disguise, they are taking enough time, but if the YSS or maybe the Lancelot was open, that would have definitely been prioritized. But both of these heroes they have been banned out, so they are just waiting it out. And okay, a Selena as well as a Yu Zhong, two strong picks as well in my opinion.
Yep, that's true. Amosh going in for the Yuzong here for the side of Team Rebel in Disguise, and Kurt went in for the Selena. A Selena, I won't say it's a meta pick, but the way she plays, the versatility coming in from Selena's Abyssal Trap, the transformation, the damage coming in, that's something really to be appreciated for. And for the side of Team Fear the Zerk here, we can see I am Zilong. Instead of going for Zilong, he definitely went for Badang here. Oh, you could have picked your comfort man, but won't be going for anyways. But we can see Zaytian being picked up as well, the global all coming in. And if the set is really perfect from the side of a team, Fear the Dog here, a Zaytian can be really handy. And look at that, the Salamander going in for the main sitar here. Nobling skills for Selena here, sadly. Selena might be trapped off here, but let's see what Team Rebel in Disguise will be giving a reply to this. But the ban will be coming in for Nishan here for the side of Team Fear the Dog. What do you think the ban is going to be?
I think both of the teams they are yet to pick out their jungler. So either a jungler or a golden priority will be matched up, and apparently it is going to be that Moskov. He is like his early game scaling is quite low. Like onto the early game phase, he will be requiring some items in order to be like coming up more stronger onto the game. And he is an item reliant hero, let's say. So is the 1-1. So both of these heroes they have been doing out quite well onto the gold lane. So they are both of the teams they are trying to prioritize as well as ban out the gold lanes, or maybe this time the junglers have been quite banned out. And I think Bakshia can also be an either of an option for both of the sides. But the question is, most probably this is going to be a Minsitar room. Like the Badang is also there, but onto the EXP, we do see him onto the EXP, onto the rank scenes at least. But onto the tournaments, I guess the roamer role will be more suitable for him.
In my opinion, a Badang Roam is a perfect here, but I guess a comfort Melissa band coming in for Team Rebel in the Skies. I don't know, but the Melissa band is quite odd here. But for the Moskov here, I always say this: a Moskov is never to be messed around with. He can be on the other side of the map pushing, and suddenly he'll be onto the team fight using his Spear of Moscow, Spear of Despair, the BOD. So, uh, I mean, like SOD, sorry, my bad. But it's really good to be having a Moskov on your side since you can rely on him all the time as long as you can trust him on his ult. But he's really item reliant, so until the late game, he's quite passive. He won't be able to do much, but promise will be going in for the grandeur here. The damage, for grandeur here, it's not to be messed around with. Especially once he gets his Hunter Strike and Sky Piercers, even 40 stacks for Sky Piercers. Ooh, that damage from him is gonna be really brutal here. But we can say Mugiwara hovering on towards to that Ling here might lock onto that, but Ledu Zava, yeah, Ledu Zava. He definitely went in for that a troll name, I guess. I don't know, but we can see he definitely went in for that. Irithel going to counter the Grandeur here, and Mugiwara will be locking onto the Ling here. A really risky pick. I won't say risky though. It's kind of like a situational pick. If you have really good game sense, patience level, you can dodge Mincetar. But if you don't, you might get caught off in a really bad position. But Nishan will be the last one going for the pick here. We might see a Roger hovering up. What do you think, Itami?
That actually can be the case, and looks like the Roger will be locked out from the side of team. What do you call it? Team Fear the Duck. And if you ask me regarding the draft, the Ling against the Minstar can actually be kind of a bad idea because he once he uses King's Calling, the dashes will be quite denied, and if the Minstar is coming onto the room, then it will be more problematic. So he probably like he his probably signature pick is going to be that link, so that might be the reason he has decided to prioritize it. But if you ask me regarding the draft, it is quite balanced, and if the Minstar is not that troublesome, so maybe team Rebel in Disguise, they might actually have some good kind of a chance.
Yep. Rebel in the Skies. In my opinion, they have a really strong draft here. They have the strong frontliners. They have the damage coming in. They have the stuns as well. But for the side of Team Fear the Dog, they have the Minsita, they have the Badang, they have the Zetian here. They have a lot of stuns at the same time. A Minsita can melt off squishies as well as tankies really easily. And having the grandeur as well as having a grandeur is already a plus point for them. But Team Rebel in the Skies, they have the Irithel as well. They can counter grandeur pretty easily, in my opinion. But the hope is on towards the grandeur here, since once he's fed, he can deal a lot of damage. But once he gets caught off here, he might be taken out as well. What do you think about it, Itami?
Yep, the Granger, against the Irithel is more of a counter pick because of the burst as well as the movement speed, like movement damage she has. She is reliant onto those basic attacks as well. So she can be a good dancer for the Granger, but if he is able to keep up with the farm, then then the scenario can be quite different. But anyways, looking on to the game, the stuns have already been coming up, and both of the teams, they are yet to draw their first blood. They will be trying to reach the level 4 mark before the turtle spawns.
Yep, the Grok making a really risky play, but since Grok is really tanky when he goes for the tanky emblem and the defenses here, it's pretty hard to kill him on towards the early game. Once he gets his passive orb as well, the defense coming in from him, man, it's quite unimaginable. But look at that Link trying to go for the blue buff here. Will he be able to steal it? Ooh,
Oh,
yes, he did.
he
He was
does.
able to steal it, and Nishan will be left for thinking that where did my blue buff go? And look at that, the perfect combo coming in. Badang will be just watching around, not able to do anything as the gang coming in. The
Oh,
obstacle trap correcting might take out Grandeur here, but sadly there was no follow up coming in. But Lynx snatches up that blue buff here. Sadly, Grandeur, I mean like Roger, the Nishan will not be able to reach level 4 before the turtle fight here, while Mugiwara easy level 5 coming in towards his side here. But Itami, how do you think that team fight went out for the side of Team Fear the Ducks there?
it was quite advantageous, but Fear the Ducks, they need to be responding onto it anytime sooner, because the Granger, when the Abyssal Trap connected, the Purify was also baited out, so it can make him the easy target considering he doesn't have a flicker for the battle spell. And looks like the turtle will be contested from the side of team RID first. And Badang, he is trying to come up with the initiation. Problem is, even if he has the flicker, he hasn't reached the level 4 mark, and looks like it will be an uncontested turtle for the side of team RID, and they are easily able to take it. The turtle as well as the goal lead favorable for the side.
Yep, definitely. The team Rebel in the Skies, they definitely are making the use of that jungle control here. And look at that Grok just harassing the jungler, man. He does not want to let him farm. He does not want to let the Granger farm, I mean, like Roger farm at all. But look at that Link trying to go for the Granger, but he will be recalling in time, and the gold plate will be going in. A huge ton of gold. But look at that, the Abyssal Trap connecting. But Grok making the slightest mistake, managed to make Badang escape here. But look at that Link. He is not letting the Roger take the blue buff
Oh,
here, and
jungle.
Roger dropping really low, might be taken out. Yes, but Zilong, the I am Zilong will be taken out by the Grok here as Yuzong goes in for the follow-up. Granger being in a really tough position, might be taken out, but the Purify saves his life this time as the fight goes on. No, the fight has been retreated. The team fight has been won once again by the side of Team Rebel in the Skies. The positioning, the battle, the initiations coming in from Rebel in the Skies. Team Fear the Ducks, they aren't able to respond yet. They aren't able to make their follow-up coming in. The positioning, they are not able to, with that goal gap coming in as well. What do you think, Itami? How will Fear the Ducks be able to make a comeback here?
If they are able to get some kill traits, then maybe the comeback would be happening. But the bad news is, Erithel was able to land a lot of hits onto the gold tower. So definitely she is having that gold advantage as well. So if there is a 1v1 kind of a situation onto the gold lane, then the problem would be the Granger. He is not able to keep up with the farm. And Erithel will be having the advantage more onto the 1v1 kind of a scenario. But looks like Ling, he will be trying to engage.
That's true, but look at that, the Ling using his ult there, will be getting a kill onto the Zetian, but Grog being stuck in a really tough position, used that tiny little gap to escape from the Badang's second skill, the wall. Oh, that was quite unimaginable, I thought that Grog might not be able to, since his hitbox is really high, but he just slipped off, man. He just slipped off there.
Yep, and somehow he was able to survive, and Team Rebel in the Sky still having a good offer lead, I would say. And they are actually trying to invade onto the Roger jungle as well.
Oh, look
Might
at that.
bait him out the retribution.
Yup, and look at that. A Mugiwara will be securing. Might be a blue buff fight here. What? I mean, like the purple buff fight here as Ling. Oh no, Ling is getting the blue buff pretty easily. But Roger having the red tree and Ling not having the red tree might be a good thing. But Batang, I am Zilong will be taken out by Shady here. The Grok taking out Batang. The Roamer taking out the Roamer here as the Hunter Strike follows up for Granger here. He might be able to do damage since he's on the 000 KDA there. He's playing really slave, but when your team is losing and you are the only solo hope, especially with no frontliners, that's not working out. But we can see Leduzawa taking out Granger. The bot lane first year has been taken out as well, as I am Zilong trying to push back, but sadly gets stunned by the Abyssal arrow there, but no Abyssal Trap, so he manages to make it out alive there. But the top lane, Yuzong and Minsitar fight coming in, the Clash of the Titans coming in as... Wait, did Mincy use it all? Mincy did use it all, but look at that fight coming in. The bottom uses his second skill, will be going in. Kurt almost surviving, but the third is damage coming in as Grog will be going in a really low HP zone there. Airtel goes in, will be taking out the I am Zilong here. He won't be surviving as Zetian will be taken out as well. Lane going in for the follow-up, but not having the blue buff, will be forced to retreat there. Ooh, look at that. Priam surviving in a really low HP, will be forced to back off. Irithel would have been able to do something if she had a second skill, but sadly no. But we can see no rotations, no proper rotations coming in from Mincy there, as Mincy is the crucial part. He'll be the one disrupting enemies' blinks and making their positioning, the formation really bad. But sadly he's not joining the team fight, so Team Fear the Ducks, they aren't able to do much here. What do you think about that, Itami?
Yep, Minsitar, if onto the roam, maybe he would have been able to contribute quite more, but an off-cam kill onto the jungle. Looks like, they were trying to invade with the Rogers blue buff once again, but this time Ling will be taken down onto the process. So will the Rogers. So, the turtle contention will be taking up some time, and looks like Team RID, they will be trying to find out some more trades onto that. Look at the airborne coming out from the Grok, and he has a really good advantage. Meanwhile, onto the EXP lane, 1v1 kind of a scenario, the Yuzhong is the one who is having more of an advantage. There is the wild charge.
Might take out. Oh, Zetian surviving in little that mesmerizing HP zone. You know that little HP, not even the little HP. It was the invisible HP that saved her. But look at that, the
Oh,
position coming in from the Grok here. Might take out IMZ long, but he will be surviving. Oh no, he will be dead by Irithel. Irithel sure is right, but Grandeur just trying to save the as much turret as he can, trying to gather stacks by killing the minions. He is the only hope in my opinion. As Roger, sadly he got invaded really hard, but Mugiwara did got punished for being too cocky and going in, trying to get too much of the blue buff here. I mean like the purple buff here, and he was taken down, the shutdown coming in, but at the same time, Rebel
oh,
in disguise, look at that damage coming in from Laduzawa here. He took out the Zetian in no time as the damage. He is onto the 500 KDA here as Mincetar hides in the bush. Might get a set there, and he catches
oh,
Irithel here. Might take out Irithel. No, Irithel survives. She runs out of the zone there. She runs out of the no blink zone. Will be getting an easy blue buff, and the abyssal traps connects, but no follow up sadly, since Badang was standing there like a little what do we call it, statue, the guardian angel of grandeur there. As the builds we can see onto the builds here, team Revel in the Skies, they have managed to make a lot of gold capture, so they have a lot of I mean like equipment as well. And look at that, the Abyssal Trap connects, the Petrified third skill coming in onto the Yuzong here, and
oh,
the combos in, gets the perfect side here, the Link goes in, will be missing a little sword, but the wall of Badang will be disrupting his combo and he will be
oh.
taken down, but the double kill coming in onto the Irithel here. That was a perfect set coming in from none other than the Grog here, the almighty Shady coming in, getting that perfect set from the flank here. That was too perfect to be unnoticed there. What do you think about the Itami?
Good trade actually. Ling, if he didn't actually fell off, then it would have been quite of a perfect trade. But the stun,
The stun coming in might take out Roger here. No, but Roger takes out Kurt here as Leduzawa being taken out. The shutdown coming in onto the Leduzawa will let Team Fear the Ducks gain huge goal there. Might be a comeback scenario here, might not be a comeback scenario here. We can never tell as Team Fear the Ducks. They need to utilize the goal they got just now. They need to utilize the win on the team fight they got just now. They need to take the Lord as soon as possible, but they aren't. They are going for the push, which can be
of Team Fear the Ducks. So the defense, it would be quite tough.
the only shield they have is on towards the bot lane side, which sadly the Lord isn't going towards there. So the mid lane inhibitor, we can confirm that mid lane inhibitor will be taken down. But look at that, the 033 KDA. Yet Granger decides to go for the pierce, so that's not good, my boy. There, you could have gone for a Malefic
Oh,
Roar, you could have gone for a Rose Gold there. But look at that, I am Zilong making a really smart move, going for that wall there, gets the alt on Minchita, but
oh,
Minchita using that all will be taken down as Ling goes in, gets the kill, the Irrital going in, showing off that huge damage going on, but the triple kill, a Maniac coming in towards the Leruzawa here, the Irrital takes onto the Maniac, and the game one goes in towards the side of Team Rebel in the skies here. Itsami, what do you think about the sets coming in from the Grog, the follow-up coming in from the Irrital here?
dominant display, man. Like the Brock, like he was prioritized as the first pick, and it worked out wonders for their side. Not just like it kind of shows that before the revamp, also he is quite comfortable with the hero. The changes are definitely there, but the airborne thing, it has been quite extended to the fact that the revamp, it has been quite beneficial, and the wild charges plays as well as the follow up from the Irithel, it was cherry on top. So team RID, they will be taking the lead, and onto this BO3, they have already secured the match point. So one more victory will be confirming the win onto the best of three series, and by far, looking at how dominant the display was, if they are able to outdraft it out quite well, so RID might actually be able to come up with a clean sweep, but you never know.
Yep, we can never say anything. This is the land of Dawn. Any team can make a comeback. Any team can make a win here. But the dominance that went off. Ooh man, I'm thinking that I should be a Grok main now. How about that? But that's aside. We'll be jumping into the second game with the first game going in towards the hand of Team Rebel in the skies. And the fights that went on to the last match, Rebel. I mean, like Mugiwara, the Ling, he was charging in like a wild boar, going for the blue buff. Roger, sadly, Nishan was not able. Nishan or was the I forgot his IGN, but sadly he wasn't able to get the blue buff on towards the early game here, and he wasn't able to contest the turtle fight, which led to his team going in a really huge goal and EXP gap there. So that's something we need to watch out for. The comfort bans needs to be banned off or for the team. A rebel in disguise from the side of team. Fear the Ducks here. Otherwise, it is looking a clean sweep here as the team Fear the Ducks. They are lacking the draft sense. They are going for the comfort, I guess, but comfort will not make it up when the opponents here already have a huge hero pool here. What do you think about it, Itami?
Yep, and I actually wouldn't be surprised if Team Ducks they come up with the Grog ban as well. So it can be quite possible, but looks like the draft it will be quite regular in my opinion. The Fanny as well as the Ishanshin it was banned before, and I guess the Phobius was not prioritized, but this time, as I said, the Grog will be there under the ban sections. He was one of the most impactful heroes for the side of Team RID. So Team Ducks they have definitely, I guess they have learned their lessons, and this time they are just trying to ban out the Grog. Meanwhile, the Alucard ban, Alucard he has been rising up quite onto the rank scene as well as onto the tournament. But if you're picking out a Alucard and if the jungler position is still open, you can go out with a utility jungler that is the Bakshia. He is actually a good answer against that Alucard, but meanwhile it will be Mugiwara going out for that Lancelot instantly. Before it was onto the ban sections, but this time the Lancelot will be prioritized.
Yep. We can see Fear the Ducks. They are making quite the mistakes once again. A Florin ban, a Fanny in this meta. I won't recommend that since a lot of utility junglers are prioritized here. So Fanny can't do much except for the split push. And maybe if your retry is good, you can snatch a little bit of neutral objectives there. But we can see Newton go hovering on the Kadita, but Nishan will be instantly locking onto that glue here, and Newton Gurg will be going in for that Kadita, but Mugiwara going in for the Lance. Lance is a meta hero here, especially with that Brute build coming in, or like the semi build coming in, with the Queen's Wing. So it's quite good. At the same time, it's quite risky since, team Fear the Ducks, they know how to play. One of their players do know how to play Minsita here, but we can see Kurt going in towards that Faramis here, the counter, the instant counter coming in for the glue. What do you think Amos is going to pick the EX player of? Oh, Mitami, you
Oh,
can take ahead now.
yeah, I guess it will be the Yuzhong once again from this side. And the Faramis, as you said, it can be working out as a great counter for against that glue. It could be the Faramis. Yeah, it is the Faramis actually. Even a Vexana would have been a great answer against that glue, but the problem is the opponent team they have the Kadita and Vexana she doesn't have the mobility kind of skills, so she can be an easy target for that Kadita. So they went out for a utility mage, let's say the Faramis with the Nether Realms. He can, the ultimate. If his teammates are quite low on HP, it can be coming up as a game changer once his ultimate is popped out. So Team Ducks, they are going out with the next pick. Maybe they will be trying to prioritize the jungler because against that Lancelot, I guess still mobility denying kind of picks would be good, but looks like it will be the gold laner instead. The Beatrix is showing up onto the screen. Will they be locking it? And yep, they do.
Yep, they definitely went in for the Beatrix. I mean, like the four weapons of Beatrix. It's up to you how you prioritize it. But we can see Nishan no longer a Mincetar will be here since Nishan, the EX player of Fear the Dog, went in for the glue here. And I am Zilong. Did they change roles or are they just waiting for the swap here? We can never say anything. But Amos going in for the Yuzong. A really good counter coming in for glue here as Kurt going in for Faramis. The second skill of Faramis will be gathering the souls, dealing a huge ton of damage on towards that glue when he goes for that tiny bits of his parts there as the promise rail. He is pressurized for that ban here. What is it going to be? The mage and the roamer are the mage and no the mage, the MM and the roamer are still left out for the side of team Rebel in Disguise here. What do you think, Tommy? What is it going to be?
The Irithel is getting panned out. I actually am not surprised considering the fact how well the Irithel did onto the previous game. So,
Mm-hmm.
even against a Beatrix, the Irithel works. So, I guess the Moskov is still open for the side of Team RID. They can be going out for the Moskov for their side, or maybe they might be the ones who will be trying to prioritize the Granger. It's all dependent upon the comfort. The Badang has been banned out. They are just going out with the Roma as well as the Jungler bans from the side of Team RID, and yep, the Moscow is getting banned out apparently. And looks like
Mm-hmm.
Team okay, they have decided to ban out the Tigreal. Not something we quite see often onto the ban sections, but yeah, that implosion plays could have been coming out by some clutch, but unfortunately for this game, the Tigreal is banned out, so they are going out for Roma or maybe the Jungler this time.
Yep, they will go for it. But let's keep the drama aside. Did you notice the hero models here, Itami? How funny they
Yeah,
are looking currently.
yep, definitely.
Just look at the Minotaur man. How pale was he look? How skinny was he looking just now? What the heck was that? But okay, let's keep this aside now. The drafts coming in, the implosion will be banned off. The punches of Badang, the fist break will be taken out. No more Badang for team. Fear the Duck here. Wait. Are they planning for a double MM? Oh no, they went for the Akai here. The annoying Akai. Your heavy spins will be really annoying here for Shady. Why is Shady trying to go for Chu when there's Akai? We can never say, but a good pick off coming in from Chu will be perfect here, but kind of 50-50. But what do you think Ledusawa is going to pick off here, Itami?
Hmm. Letuzawa, Letuzawa, maybe he can be going out with one of his comfort onto the goal lane. Harith can actually be a good option here too against the Beatrix. Even the Bruno is because of the range. So it will be a chow for those setups, like not the setups, but for the playmaker plays with the Way of the Dragons. The initiations would be coming up, and the Granger could also be a good priority. This time it won't be Team Quack with the Granger, instead, it will be Team RID. Maybe they are coming up with a statement that this is how a Granger is supposed to be used, but you never know. But one thing, it's kind of surprising for me is Beatrix onto the sprint. I don't see it quite often. Like not even often. I see it. It's like a 1% chance for me. Maybe he'll just change it out.
It's never even a 1% chance, A BRX on a sprint is like giving Diggy the retribution there. It never works out, man. It never works out, I'm telling you. But the Salamander hovering on towards the Gusion might go for a Gusion jungle here, but I won't recommend that since there's a Mugiwara known for Lancelot, but Kalia being picked off. Akai jungler, okay, it's the Akai jungler,
It
or
should
yep.
be, yeah. It is the Yakai jungle. So yep, utility can definitely give you the higher amount of the faster amount of time. You will be able to clear out the jungle out quite fast, but you're up against a
Yep.
Lancelot, and he has been quite impactful onto this meta as well. So I guess Akai, when the turtle as well as the Lord fights happen, he can be going out with a heavy spin and try to secure out the retribution. So that can be the case. And again, but Lancelot, the thing with him is he has a lot of like mobility. He has a lot of mobility as well as the cancel skills are there from his side as well. The punctures as well as the phantom executions coming will be coming out quite handy, but the problem is like it will be depending upon team how team Quack will be coming up with the execution. But on to the previous game, even if they had the Mensatar, he was not able to do out quite much impact onto the fight because he was any experience.
That's true. That's true. The drafts are looking really clean. The team fights might be really mesmerizing, but we'll be seeing it into the land of Dawn, guys. This is the Blitz Showdown Season 1. The first match being won by Rebel in the Skies. They again went for the first pick, but what do you think? Will Fear the Duck be able to make a comeback here, or is it going to be a clean sweep from the draft which we have gotten here right now?
I think team RIT, they have more confident kind of a draft in my opinion, but I could actually be wrong as well. Oh my goodness, the
Ooh, a
first blood
first blood already coming in.
already being drawn. RIT getting quite the upper hand. It was a Roma against a Roma, and Chow was who had the advantage. Oh, bad position.
Oh, look at that, a team fight coming in. Salamander will be taken out by Shady. Shady already getting 2 kills. Just imagine if he was the damage, I mean, like a damage chew coming in. Oh, he would have already been so fed, man. Like roaming around everywhere, dealing damage. It's just too mesmerizing to be watching that. But look at that, the mid lane being really peaceful here. Chu might go again. The Faram is using its first kill to pull the enemies. I am Zilong is playing really aggressive, knowing that he can heal himself, but there's also a Chu. He can get the defense break from his passive basic attack here. But the bot lane gang coming in might be a kill. No, Beatrix survives there. Beatrix onto us the flicker. Still having her flicker is a plus point for her. She can survive from the really tough positions as we can see Shady just providing the vision really properly. Kurt going in, trying to get the damage here. Chu tried to get the creep, but he wasn't able. Oh, look at the red buff, Man, I'm kind of pissed at Mugiwara at this point. Let Salamander farm a little, man. Why took his red once again? But anyways,
Uh,
we can see a fight coming in. Oh, look at that. The set coming in from towards the Yuzong here will be securing a kill on towards the Salamander. Goes in using the Black Dragon form here. Will be
oh,
getting a kill on towards the I am Zilong. No, I am
oh,
Zilong. Because will be surviving. Mugiwara tries to go in, but not being able to do anything as
oh,
Yuzong
oh,
goes
oh,
gets the recall cancel on towards the I am Zilong, but will be getting a kill on towards the Newton as well. The team fight being won towards the side of a team RID here. There was some amazing fights coming in, and look at that, a Kurd securing the kill towards the Nishan here.
Yo, the Falamis counter is actually working out against the glue. And I love the fact how Team RID are playing so aggressively out quite early. They are just invading the jungle and just go in. Yuzhong, look at him. Salamander might be going
Yuzong going
down
in,
once
Salamander
again.
will go down as I am Zilong also goes. Bro, Shady, give some kills to your jungler, man. He needs some kills as well. Later on, Mugiwara will be like, you took my spotlight, man. How can you be a Roma and take my spotlight there? But Newton, oh, he uses the all to survive. It's okay, it's fine. As Mugiwara goes in, being the hungry wolf, will be
Oh,
going in as the tsunami slam goes in, the heavy spins coming in, the shutdown coming in towards the Shady there as Mugiwara goes in, gets the blue buff, uses the what do you call it? Thorn. Wait, never mind. The second skill use picks up as they go in. The Mugiwara will be shut down. Oh, it is quite bad to be honest. As RID, they are being really greedy
oh,
once
oh,
again. But
1v1.
Lil Zawa, oh, we can see a 1v1 fight going in, but Pramas, man, he doesn't want to fight. He backs off as I am Zilong goes in, gets the pick off here. Chu dealing a huge ton of damage here. Might he can't take out. He is the damage. He just realized, that I am a tank here. Oh, I am a tank. But we can see Leruzawa goes in, secures the kill for Chu here as Chu goes in,
Oh,
trying to get the set, but not having the ult. He won't be engaging as Chu goes in a really bad position. Will be punished for that miscommunication. Engaged there as Grandeur tries to deal out the damage. The rotation coming in using the Black Dragon form as he goes in, gets the kill on towards the Newton. The Khadita being taken off as we can see.
oh,
Ooh,
one
look
hit.
at that Proma surviving in a really low HP as Tsunami Slam being used up on towards the Faramis here. Might take out Faramis. Not having the ult will be a really negative thing here as team Fear the Dogs. They did manage to put a little pressure towards RID here, but RID is still managing to maintain their posture, maintain to fight once again. Shady, man, Shady is being too shady right now. He is diving too deep, getting punished over and over again, but still not learning from his mistakes. So that's a really bad thing. But not having the red tree, we might see Salamander go towards the turtle, but 3 levels back, that's
Oh,
not bad. But unstoppable coming in towards the Nishan here from Amoj. How do you think Team Fear the Dogs will be able to come back here, Itami?
if they are able to get up some kills, oh no, the heavy spin
Oh,
comes
the
up
gang
from
fight
the
coming in, the
Akai.
all coming in towards the Beatrix here as the fight goes on. Lancelot uses the puncture to escape, but
Oh,
the tsunami time coming in, the follow up as Lirizova gets the kill towards the Kalia there, and the double kill coming in from Amos.
oh my
A
god.
triple kill, the passive still being there. Sadly, Salamander could not survive the easy turtle coming in. How are the team fights implying here, Itami? Can you explain me a little here?
Yuzhong, man, like he had a lot of kill advantage right from the start, and you are already 8 kills up to the game. It's only been 5 minutes, and you are an EXP laner playing so aggressively as well as getting the kills. He just got the triple as well, so it is safe to say that in terms of the farm, he is quite ahead compared to the glue as well. So they are having out quite some advantage, but Shady once again was trying to invade onto the jungle of Team Fear the Ducks, but he doesn't have the backup this time, so he will just be going back. But the problem is, RIT, they have a lot of lead right now. In terms of the objectives too, they already got 2 towers, so a better map control is definitely there. This Faramis pick is actually working, but the thing is, the Yuzhong, he was fed up with a lot of kills. There is the team fight.
The team fighter engages as Yusong goes in using that Black Dragon form. Will be getting the kill towards the Karita here. Will be forced to be in a really though dead zone HP there, but the Faram is all being there, saves his life as the killing spree comes in from the Liruzawa here. The double kill following up as the kill comes in from the Kurd. The final kill coming in, a wipe out coming in towards the side of Team Fear the Ducks here. RID manages to secure the kills, manages to secure the team fight. The all coming in from Faramis at a really crucial time, saves the Yuzong's life, survives with low HP, but the passive coming in will get his HP back. The wipe out coming in, a really huge kill and goal lead coming in now towards the side of Team RID as Lance goes in, gets a little cocky, but he has the damage. That's a GG as Yuzong is absolutely fed here. The 907 KDA, man. We don't want to face that. What do you think about it, Itami?
Yep, Yuzhong, they are not able to get a shutdown onto him. And this guy, he has been dealing out a lot of lifesteal damage, let's say. And he does have quite of an advantage. Maybe Team RID, they might actually this for the turtle as well. They might just wait it out for the 8 minute lot and try to end the game as soon as possible, considering the fact they have a lot of lead. Phantom execution being used out by that Lancelot in order to escape, and they are not overextending on any team fight. But it looks like Shady will be caught out.
Okay, Shady will be caught off there as they goes in the Black Dragon form, still having on towards him, but the all
Oh,
of Pyramid will be used up, but still Shady being taken down. Newton Gig will be taken out. The monster kill following up for Grandeur as Lancelot goes in, gets the kill as he goes in, gets the kill, the double kill coming in towards the Lancelot here. The Beatrix was in a really backline position, but you know how Lancelot is. If you are near a minion, you are his target. He will use his puncture here to get the stacks, and the second skill will be the finisher of you. He will finish you off with his second skill with no issues.
definitely. And looks like, as I said, they just be going out for that 8 minute lot. They do have the advantage, but looks like Lancelot, he will be trying to engage.
Okay, we can see the Black Dragon form used up, the killing spree coming in on towards the Salamander here as Yuzong goes in. Mugiwara will be the one dealing the finishing blow as the Dominance Ice comes up for Amos here. He will be sustaining, he will be getting the life drain. Ooh, that's not good. The puncture goes in, man. He wants to get the blue buff really desperately. But the Lord being here, they can take the Lord and end the game in no time. But the bot lane inhibitor being in a really non-existent HP zone there. It's still looking a really bad situation for Fear the Ducks. They are lacking the communication, they are lacking the hero power, they are lacking the EXP. The goal gap is really huge as well. Shady might having a little network issue. I saw him miss the second skill, but Mugiwara will be securing the Lord here.
Yep, definitely. And looks like it might actually be a GG game over kind of a situation for Team Fear the Ducks if they are not able to come up with a trade. Kadita is just waiting it out onto the bush, maybe trying to just do a solo kill. But looking at the goal lead as well as the itemization, they are quite behind. And Team RIT, they almost have a 12k goal lead as well as a 5 tower advantage. So the problem would be, even if they come up with a really good initiation, in terms of the itemization, they are quite behind. So Team RIT would be the ones who will
Look
be
at
having out
he
the
might take
last
out the
lap.
little over here. Oh no, he still survives,
Oh,
but Newton being in a really in a really
oh,
typical here.
this was
Lancer
bad.
goes in, use the second skill, but still Newton Gig survives as the all comes in from the blaster of Beatrix here will be clearing the minions, but Lord still standing, might take out the inhibitor here. Yes, the inhibitor will be taken down, but the second skill coming in, the puncture, the phantom execution as well goes on. The really heavy spin come in, might take out Kurd here. The Kurd all being forced off, but the godlike, the snipe coming in from Grandeur here as the Kurd will be taken down. Nishan going for his cursed helmet. Yu Song, man, is he dead? Is he dead? Yeah, there's no minions around. He can't regen his HP. He will be taking down the shutdown coming in as I am Zilong goes in. Not
Oh,
having the tsunami slam will be a really bad situation since he will be taken down here as Grandeur is absolutely fed now. And we can see the fights might not last longer here as Grandeur is fed as well as for the Yuzong. Both the heroes can just melt around you. Salamander, look at the damage towards the Salamander here. He did not stood even a second there as Newton Gig is forced as well. How do you think? Do you think there's even a slither chance for Team Fear the Ducks to make a comeback here, or is it a clean sweep already?
unless Team RID comes up with a really, massive mistake, I don't actually see the comeback happening, but you never know. So right now it's like the goal lead, it just keeps on extending. They still have the 12k goal lead as well. It's only two of the inhibitor towers remaining for the side. So if Team Fear the Ducks they don't commit, I don't think RID will be trying to look up with another team fight unless they come up. It looks like the concealed play might be coming. That they might actually initiate.
Salamander being the guy almost being called off, but not having. I mean, like, Chu did not want to waste his flicker towards the tank, but that's kind of value. That's kind of valid reason. But we can see the top lane inhibitor might be taken out, or Clash might be coming up as the Tsunami Slam goes in, but catching Chu here. Chu using his
Oh,
flicker for no purpose on towards the front here. Team RID, they are making mistakes now as I am Zilong goes in, tries to get the kill as Zilong goes in. He will be taking down. No, Beatrix survives, but we can see Glue getting attached to Kurt once again. Kurt might be taken down. No, Kurt survives there as he goes in. Nishan being in a really tough position gets gets the final blown by Grandeur here. But
oh,
look at
but
that.
fine.
Lancelot tries to show off his Xing Xing here. The puncture, man. You can't do that. Come on. Why did you even try that, Lancelot? That was a really bad mistake from him. He went in, got petrified, and was killed. That's a hilarious moment coming in. If anybody want to clip and make a meme out of it, go on. You guys can do it. The Lord is already here. Itami, what do you think about it?
I think they will be taking the time in order to contest it because, as you said, like they just lost out their Lancelot, and that was kind of an overextension. You didn't had to go in like that, and you just got petrified by that Kadita and got taken down. If you were like if the Lancelot was still there, maybe they would have directly went out for the Lord. But this might actually be Team Fear the Duck's advantage, or maybe not, because the minions they still keep coming, and for they still need to defend out their inhibitor towers. They only have few of it remaining, and they Fear the Ducks they won't be actually taking the risk, and they will not be trying to contest for the Lord, and this will be another uncontested Lord for the side of Team RID. And looks like this time if the lane sinking as well as the execution is up to the point, then maybe they might actually be able to end the game.
You know what? Forget about the lane. Forget about the thing. So forget about the fights coming in. I want the Lancelot to have patience, man. He is so impatient. He goes in and just dies. It's like he tries to
Oh
show off,
yeah.
but yeah, look at that once again. He tries to do that, will be forced to back off as Kadita almost caught Lancelot, but she didn't aim properly as the tsunami slam goes in, tries to get the Lance once again. Lance surviving due to the second skill. Yusong goes in using the Black Dragon form towards the backline, petrified, not connecting to anyone. The heavy swings going on. Beatrix goes inside the fountain, survives, but the double kill coming in towards the Grandeur here will
Oh.
be a really good thing, but Akai will be shut down as Beatrix will be forced to back off. No one to defend the lane. Lancelot goes in, uses the Phantom Execution, gets the kill. The execution coming up. The Lord finishes the game. The second game, a clean sweep coming in towards the side of Team RID. Rebel in the skies.
A pure domination as well as a clean sweep coming out from this side. And I guess execution part wise, Team RIT they definitely had more of an advantage, and they were able get out the clean sweep. So a deserving victory. Fear the Quacks, they will be coming out a little bit short, and it will be Team RID who will be having having the victory for the day. So by far, analyzing both of the matches, I would say it was the draft was not exactly an issue. The problem was the execution, and going out for the early glue pick, that was kind of questionable because they still had the Vexana as well as the fact even other options was there onto the EXP lane. Like the CC or maybe even the export would have been a good counter. They just went out with the Faramis and it did work out.
Yep, that's true. That's true. Like how the matches went out, there was a complete communication, the synchronization, and the hero knowledge, the hero mastery as well. Team RID, they managed to show that they have a huge hero pool, they have a huge mastery towards the heroes as well. But I still can't get off my head towards that Lancelot and the way he tried to engage, tried to show off, and got his aura into towards the negative. Come on, man. You were in a live stream as well. You can't be doing all those shady stuff. But anyways, let's not highlight that moment too much. This is the end of today's best of eight. No, top eight teams here, guys. The game goes in. The second game was cancelled sadly, but the third game we saw a really good domination coming in from Team RID. GG's. I would like Itami to sign us off here.
Yep, thank you for your time, Jeff, and thank you everyone for tuning in. Tomorrow we will be back with more matches. Till then, good night, everyone, and stay tuned.
Good night, guys. Peace out.